Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be talking a little bit about Building 21 in DMZ, particularly from the perspective of a solo player. This became available to load into yesterday, and since that time I've gone in 4 times as a solo player. So I'll talk a little bit about that experience, first impressions, show some gameplay footage and things like that. But first, real quick, just for those that might not be aware, I'll just cover how you can actually get in the building and what's required with that, particularly where you can get the 3 keys in Al Mazrah, or I guess sort of the regular version of DMZ, which are the actual building access key, and then the red and the blue access keys as well. So starting off, if you hit the deploy button in DMZ now, you will get an automatic prompt to either choose to go into Al Mazrah, which is regular DMZ, or Building 21. However, this only happens if you have a Building 21 access card. So you can see here above the name, I currently have 4 in my inventory. This isn't something that you need to manually equip. As long as you have them sort of in your key bank, it'll prompt you automatically. So these can be found in the actual Al Mazrah map. So I'll talk a little bit about where you can get those, as well as 2 additional keys that can be used inside Building 21, which are the red access key and the blue access key. There are a couple different ways that you can find these keys in a game of DMZ. It's primarily supply drops in one form or another. So I've had the best luck capturing SAM sites like I'm doing right now. That will then blow up a supply drop plane, then you can go loot that. You can also get them from just the global supply drops that happen, and then also destroying a commander helo will drop a supply crate, and then you can loot it from that. It's still kind of random, but based on what I've experienced, you have about a 50% chance that the crate will have either a Building 21 access card or a red or blue card too. Some people have said that they found them in legendary chests. If that's the case, the drop rate must be crazy low because I've never found one. I'm not saying that it's not true, but I personally have not found one in a legendary chest yet. And again, I've just sort of stuck to supply drops. So as an example, here you can see I'm going up to one of the supply drops that I got from the SAM site after it destroyed the plane. And then after capturing that, inside there is a DRC Building 21 access card. Here's another supply drop from a SAM site, and you can see here I get the red access card, which gives access to the security room near office storage. In this example, I'm capturing the supply drop from the commander helo, and you can see here this is where I got the blue access card, and that gives access to the security room near data center. And then finally, just to sort of round things out, here I am capturing one of the supply drops from the global supply drop event, and you can see after I capture this, inside I find another blue access card. All right, so you've got your Building 21 access card now, and you can load into the area. First and foremost, I wouldn't even recommend doing that unless you're fully kitted out for this. So spend some time in Al Mazrah if you don't already have like a 3-plate armor vest, self-revive, things like that. I had a revive pistol and a self-revive in this run, and I still didn't even make it out alive, so it is very tough. And you only get that one attempt with that one-use card, so if you die, it's over with, and if you want to do it again, you got to go through that whole process of finding another card to do it. So making sure that you're going to take the most advantage of that opportunity as you can with the best gear. I've been using LMGs, just generally speaking for DMZ. I like LMGs the best, high capacity magazine, but feel free to use another gun if you think that works better. For the key, as you can see, I don't have it in my backpack. You don't have to actually physically equip that key into your backpack. If you have it in your key vault, it'll just automatically ask or prompt you to use it, so you don't need to put that in there. So now loading into the actual match, just like DMZ, you're going to get sort of a random spawn point to start from. And the biggest thing you'll notice right off the bat, as I try to do, is open up my map, and you can see that's not available, so you don't get a map for this mode. And you can also see in the upper left that the mini map is also scrambled, so no help there to sort of help navigate around. That being said, there are physical maps that you can find around kind of by the stairwells that can kind of help you navigate. So looking at this, there is a legend, and this might be a little bit blurry, but the little yellow triangle is where you're at, so I'm in that bottom right corner of the stairwell, and then the far left area in blue, that's a data center, and then the green room in the middle is the generator room. So you can kind of use these to kind of help navigate a little bit as well. Another thing that you'll notice early in the match is that some of the rooms or some of the areas are blocked off or locked, but you'll get this notification, security locks, hack in progress, and after a minute has happened after that announcement, some of those rooms will then become available. So this room, as an example, after that minute has happened, the hack will unlock this door, and this red light will turn white, as you can see here, and then that is now available to get into. So then you can unlock the door and access this third floor portion of the map. Coming onto the third floor here, we can again use these maps to kind of help navigate a little bit. So again, I know that's probably super blurry, but you can see we're next to the laboratory area. So again, these will help you sort of navigate where the rooms are and things like that. The enemies you come across are basically 100% all heavily armored, fully equipped AI. So headshots are important. That helps quite a bit dealing with those, but they are going to take quite a bit of firepower to get through. They also do drop armor plates pretty regularly, which is nice. It seems significantly higher drop rate than what regular DMZ is. So typically, from what I found, if you kill an enemy, there's a really good chance that they're going to drop an armor plate. So that at least helps sort of keep up with your re-upping on your armor plates at the very least. But again, yeah, they're all going to be armored AI with pretty powerful guns too. And if that's not bad enough, there's also still one more surprise that you're gonna have to deal with on top of the enemies, and that is that guy. So there are Wilson sentry drones or turrets driving around as well, patrolling the area. So as you can see, that mowed me down pretty quick. So if you're not careful, those will end your day pretty quickly too. So honestly, I think the best strategy if you come across a turret is just to run away. That being said, I did use a shock stick in this one attempt just to see if that would work, and it does stun them for a little bit. They'll just shoot in one direction for like 10 seconds, and then I thought I would be able to destroy it. I don't think that's a good idea. So honestly, I just run away, in my opinion, and then you can carry a shock stick if you have one of those. It will disable it for a little bit as a distraction to kind of get away. Another thing to watch out for are these elevator areas. So if you see this area, try not to hang out for too long, and you'll see here in a second why that is. So every once in a while, this happens, where a bunch of enemies will just pop up and start mowing you down. And if you hang out here, 30 seconds from now, another group of 4 is just going to pop up, open the elevator, and start shooting you again. So if you see that area, try and get out as fast as you can. And then in terms of extracting out, basically the same concept as regular DMZ. There's an exfil icon where there's an exfil location. However, elevators basically replace the helicopter. So rather than jumping into a helicopter, you call an elevator. So here, I was going to go do that and rolled up on this squad of 3. So that's also a thing. You're in here with other people. So you got to watch out for that. I wasn't able to even get out of here after that because some AI showed up. And then took me down. But ideally, you would get to that elevator, open up the elevator, or call the elevator. Once it gets there, you get in the doors, and then you exfil out through the elevator. So, can you solo Building 21? Based on the 4 attempts that I've done so far, I would say you can. If your expectation is just to sort of explore the area and exfil out. I haven't been able to do that in my 4 attempts, but I can see that it's doable. But overall, in terms of like expecting to do the missions that are in Building 21, it's clearly designed for squads, and I think it'd be very challenging. So for example, there is a boss fight that I haven't been able to even get to where he drops a black key card. I don't know what that's for yet. And then you can also exfil with his grenade launcher, which is pretty cool. And there's also weapon case missions as well, where you can get cosmetics and things. I think there's 6 of them. So in terms of doing that stuff, I think it'd be very challenging to do that as a solo player. The other thing too, which is probably the biggest thing, is that you just can't simply load into another round of Building 21. So if you die and as a solo player, your success rate is probably going to be a lot lower. You have to go through that whole process again of launching into Al Mazrah, going and finding another key, which, you know, that whole process might take 30 minutes. So simply trying to do another run is a 30-minute investment of trying to go find another key. And that's kind of where I was at right now, is I wanted to do another run, but I logged in to try and get another key, and 30 minutes later, I still didn't have one, and I didn't have the motivation to find another key just so I could do another attempt where I might, you know, die 5 minutes into the run. So as of right now, that's kind of where I stand. I would love to be able to keep doing these runs over and over and over again. I like the challenge of it, but to me, that's the biggest hurdle, is that starting off as a solo player, your success rate isn't going to be that great. And to have that level of frequency of being able to do many, many attempts, really, it just to me, is going to take way too much time to try and get a key over and over and over again to do that. So that's kind of where I'm standing right now. Again, I think the map itself is a lot of fun. It's super intense. I would love this as sort of like a regular thing. But to me right now, the killer is just that you need to go get that key over and again. So that's sort of been my experience so far with Building 21. Let me know if you've been doing this solo as well, if you've had other experiences or different opinions on the map. I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts are. Also your thoughts on like the key system, whether you think that's a good system. I think that's honestly probably my biggest gripe with it, is just that you can't do frequent attempts over and over and over again. I'd rather just be able to launch into Building 21 and do it as many times as I'd like, rather than having to go through that whole key system. But anyways, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching this, and we will see you later. Bye.